Hey YouTube, it's been a while. Been quite busy just doing some fabrication work on the car, getting a bit more welding done. The frames all come together now, fully fitted in the shed itself. Just trying to get a few of the little brackets and things made up, fuel cell tray all built so I can get all that fitted in the car. Recently just got all the engine stripped down thanks to my brother-in-law Ben helping me out with that. So yeah, it's all sort of coming together nicely really. Waiting for a few more of the engine parts to arrive. But for today I'm going to try and get the engine stripped down a bit more, cleaned up, painted, and just basically get it all ready for reassembly. I'm going to be fully forging the engine, so I'm hoping to get sort of between 400 and 500 brake horsepower, anywhere in between. I know it's a wide bracket, but because of the size of the wheels and things, you know, the brake horsepower is going to be a bit different to the standard K20 kits for the superchargers, so they're not really exactly sure on what it's going to be producing at the end of it. But anywhere between those sort of figures I'll be more than happy with. What else have I been up to? Well, got a few of the parts here laid up that I'll be using today. So obviously got a heat gun for drying it all up afterwards for painting. So got the rotary tool, got a few of the wire brushes for cleaning it up. I've got a few of the mini ones as well for getting in the more difficult areas down there. So that's all sort of ready to crack on with. I've also just sort of put together a plating kit as well. So a few sort of nuts and bolts and other bits that I want to do. So I managed to get myself all this nice bit of kit here all together, so hopefully do a bit of plating as well, also a bit of anodising. There's a load like the K20 parts that I've got to go on the engine, which I'd like to sort of anodise in the blue, so the theme for the engine is pretty much going to be sort of black and silver for the main sort of block and valve cover, and then sort of all the nice parts that are going to be going on it, I'm going to try and get anodised in blue. So I've got like a K20 blue fuel rail, dipstick, I've got a beauty washer kit from Downstar. So shout out to those guys for sending that over with some free t-shirts and things, so thanks for that. So yeah, so hopefully it'll just sort of, you know, the accents of the blue will look really smart with the rest of the engine in black and silver. So, you know, let's just crack on and get it cleaned up and get some painting done. So here's the blocks all stripped down. Hopefully you've just seen a few pictures of what I've been up to. Said just sort of got it completely stripped down. I've actually managed to get the block rebored, so it's now 86.5 bore. Just because one of the cylinders was slightly scored, so I thought, well, rather than just get it rehoned, we'll get that all bored out. So got new JE pistons for that, which I'll show you all in a moment. And as I said, hopefully you've just seen a video sort of what I've been up to with the engine, getting that all stripped down, and obviously the car fabrication. So it's all masked up, pretty much ready to go. I did make a start on this side the other day, so I actually sort of degrease it all and get right in a lot of the sort of more sort of tight spaces, just try and clean it all up. But I'm going to give it all another go because it was just late at night. So that's the next job now. So all I use for that is just use a bit of Devil's Blood wheel cleaner as initial, and then some degreaser, just standard sort of degreaser you can buy from anywhere really, but obviously a strong concentrate just to really sort of cut into it. So I'm just going to crack on with that, give it another coat of degrease, get the wire brushes on it a bit, just be careful obviously of all the faces that have got parts going onto them, which is why they're all masked up for protection. So I'll get all that all cleaned up now a bit more, get it degreased finally, dry it all up, and then try and give it a coat of paint. After I sort of do that, just head over to the back end of the garage. Got a few more bits to sort out over here. So I've got the girdle at the bottom to sort out. So that's just as it came off the engine. So I need to get all the Honda Bond off that, try and get all that all degreased and cleaned up. Again, just clean all that up ready for painting as well. The cylinder head, when I was off getting that all sorted out with the engine block, I managed to get them to kindly sort of rebuild me the head while they were at it, so that's all been cleaned up already to sort of go. So let's just crack on and get this all sorted. Guys, well hopefully you can see now it's all come up really nicely. It's got all that old crappy paint that's flaking off. It's almost giving it a bit of a polished finish, to be fair. Obviously really careful around the edges to make sure that the direction is actually spinning this way, so that it's flicking it away, not coming onto the face. Else if it comes onto the face, then you risk damaging all of your mating surfaces that obviously are machined smooth to sort of create a nice seal. So you want to make sure that as you're doing it, the rotation brings it away from the edge, not onto the edge. That way then you make sure you protect all of your faces when you're doing it, obviously with something so abrasive as a wire brush. You can see it's sort of almost giving it a bit of a polish there, but it's really got rid of all the crap that's on there. So really pleased with that. That's giving it a nice clean coat. So what I'll do now is just degrease it. I'll do the other side first and degrease the whole lot to make sure I get rid of any of the dust and other residue. And you can have a look at that. If I just quickly spin the block over, I can get out this engine block pin. Give me a second, guys. And you can compare to that side. As you can see, this is the side as it was. All the paint all flaking off the side. In fact, this will be a good before and after really, so you can have a look. So you can see where the sort of paint's on there, but it's all flaking off. It doesn't look particularly nice. And you've got this side. Admittedly, this is going to be darker now because I'm on the back side. This side here. Oh, you saw it before. Looks a lot neater. Try to put it in the light a bit more so you guys can see. See, it's all nicely cleaned up. There's no paint left on it anywhere at all. So yeah, so let's crack on with this side, and hopefully you'll see a bit of a before and after on the difference once I get all this paint off and get it all degreased. Just I'll show you sort of what it's like. So just this rotary brush tool here. Obviously just trying to do it one-handed, so idea. So it doesn't affect the actual printing at all on it, only the stamps. You can still see it nice and clear. You can see how quick and easy that got all that paint off, how it all cleans up nicely. Again, as you saw, making sure I'm doing it so the rotation is going away from the edge like this, not doing this and coming onto the face. That way I'm going to protect the face. Although it's only off the starter motor, I want to make sure I protect it. So making sure at all times that rotation goes away from the edge, not onto the edge. So there we are. Now you can see it's all come up nice and clean. All the old paint's off. As I said, this top edge here is all nicely protected because kept it from going onto the face. That black is actually on the masking tape. That darkness there, as you can see, it's not actually gone through the masking tape at all. So it's protected all those faces. But as you can see, the whole lot's come up really nicely. Managed to get right in there. All that old paint's all off. So we've got a really nice surface now to paint once I just degrease and clean it all off. Managed to get in this side here as well. You can see that or not. That's all nice and clean in there as well. Getting that just pulled off the tape because it's coming around like this rather than actually blowing onto it. Yeah, that's also come up really nice. I'm really happy with that now. So block's all done and all tidy. It's now just a case of degreasing it and give it a coat of paint. Okay, so we're all cleaned up now, ready for paint. So fully degreased, cleaned off, dried it off with a hot air gun as well. So that'll give me a nice clean surface to paint onto now. So let's get that done. So here's my rebuilt head. So the whole thing's been skimmed, degreased, rebuilt, so new springs, new retainers. They should all be sort of capable of handling the power that I'm looking to achieve. I'm not going to go for anything really more than 500 really, just because the car's going to be light enough as it is. So let's just start with getting everything masked up. We can give it one other coat of paint so it matches the block. So I've got over there, underneath my heater up there, just to sort of dry it off a little bit, keep it a bit warm. So it's a cold time of year, so not ideal for spraying, but nice and warm in here. And I've got a dehumidifier going also, so that'll hopefully keep it nice and dry in here. So we'll get masked up with this and then give it a coat of paint. Well, that was epic. So, got all the cylinder head all masked off now, all the way around. So it's already all been degreased and cleaned up at the shop, so that's all okay. So now it's just really a case of just getting it all painted up now. But that took a good hour and 10 minutes to sort out. But we're ready to rock and roll, so let's get a coat of paint on it. So there we have it, all sprayed up. A few of you eagle-eyed people will see that I've left the nuts and bolts on a couple of the bits. Not too worried about that because I've got downstairs beauty washers and stainless steel bolts to put in for the entire engine block, so I've just left those in, best just to keep those all nicely lined up for spraying really more than anything. And again, the studs I'm going to be taking out on this side just as I've got those out ready for bolting in the new downstairs as well. So that's the head all done now. Block's all pretty much dry now, but again, leave it before I start reassembling, and in any case I'm still waiting for some parts yet. So yeah, productive morning so far. Next, time to crack on with that girdle. So for getting this Honda Bond off, just want to get a stained knife blade flat against the surface, no digging into it. You can see it's sort of about, well, quite a slight angle I tend to do it at. If I do it too steep like that, you might find it dig into the surface. So try and keep it quite flat, but not obviously completely flat, or else you'll find it hard to start to get the stuff off. And just keep sliding it along, and as you'll see, it works a treat. You can see where the outer line was. Again, you can always go over it again, but that shows you that it gets it all pretty clean and pretty smooth. Just obviously being really careful, try not to get it to dig in. Obviously here you can just see there's a little bit of Honda Bond left there. You can just see the line. Just use the stained knife blade just here. You can see on the tip there, that's where it was. You can see here the line where it's clear, the difference in the sort of colour. Pick up there in the light. So just come back along here again. See, I hope I can just remove this. You don't want to go digging the point of the scalpel or stained knife blade into the metal at all. Yeah, if you go over it a couple of times, there you are, and it's gone. That's just a bit of stuff there. So really all this line here needs to go. You attack it from different angles, but just be really careful. Try not to let that blade dig in when you're removing it. As long as you get the majority of it off, the rest of it will come off when you degrease. Get it all off. So there we are. So it's all cleaned up, all degreased, and now it's time to start masking this piece up now. So the cylinder head's all looking pretty good. So there's the final bit of the engine I've got to get painted up before assembly. Right, so got it all painted. Really pleased with the results. As you can see, it's all come up really nicely. Nice even coat all over. This is sort of the next day now, so it's had a good 24 hours to cure and dry. As you can see, even though I went on at it with a wire brush, you can still see all of the engine numbers. Absolutely fine. It literally just takes the paint off really nice and easy. That's about it. And as I said, all the mast faces are all nice and clean. All the barrels are obviously all well protected and good coat of oils to keep them all rust free. So that's good. The cylinder head's all looking pretty good as well. Spin that around. Absolute nightmare masking up, but anyway, it's all done. So really happy with that. So next thing really is just try and get the engine all put back together is the next priority. So just waiting on some parts from H-Tune to come through, which ordered back in October. We're now January and still waiting for some of them to come through, such as the timing chain and tensioners, etc. So all a bit frustrating because just standard sort of engine refurbishment parts, really nothing sort of special or out of the ordinary at all. So just need to wait for that to come along. I'll just try and chase them up this week and get that organised so as I'm going to really crack on with it. But that'll probably do for now. So that is engine clean, strip and paints, and next sort of video will probably be the assembly. So as always, like and subscribe if you are enjoying the sort of feed so far and what I've been up to, and hopefully we'll get a few more videos done shortly on the build and other things to do with the car. So cheers guys, take it easy.